What do you think will be the discussion at a conference that would amount to you being shortchanged if you were not there represented?
Oh, there are so many. For instance, we're going to talk about the resource control, how our resources will be managed. Don't forget that just now from the chart at the DPR level, Delta State ranks the highest producing state in the country. And it is unarguable that the Itsekiri ethnic nationality contributes well over 30%. Well over 30% of oil and gas to the resources of this country. Right? And so, you think it is not morally right for us to have been so included to determine how these resources be distributed, because we are talking about the distribution of the wealth. The distribution, that's what we're talking about. We're also talking about how we are supposed to be governed, how we are supposed to be relating with people, whether I even want to continue my marriage with you. What we are talking here is not new. For instance, in 1914, in the just celebrated amalgamation of that the country just did the centenary thing, in 1914, this ethnic group called Itsekiri was one of the major signatories of that treaty. Oh, yes.
There's a question from Hope here. He says Itsekiri was well represented in the pre-Nigeria conference, and other ethnic groups that were not represented never complained.
Well, I will be quick to say that in this world that we are, I'm not supposed. If they didn't complain then, they choose nothing. If they didn't complain, then they choose not to complain. I cannot sit back, like I told you earlier. Somebody's eyes cannot see the road for me. All right? And so I think that it is only morally right for us to be given that opportunity.
But do you think then that if everybody's demands were to be met at this conference, can this conference still hold?
I am not saying, listen, there are
several other ethnic groups.
Good. But what I'm saying,
who have also said one thing or the other about representation.
Good. Let us at least be fair to ourselves.
In what way?
Now, because that other dictator says, he who blows the piper dictates the tune. Oh yes, I contribute this much. These persons that are talking about now, how much are they contributing to the national purse? How much? What is the resources they are bringing onto the table other than to come and share what they don't have?
Which persons are we talking about?
Oh, the other ethnic groups. Oh yes. At least between you and I, you know that this country runs on oil. And I'm telling you that over 30% of that contribution comes from Itsekiri. As I speak with you, Escravos, EGTL is in the heart of Itsekiri land. Are you talking about the offshore locations? Are you talking about the DB location? Are you talking about the Olero location?
Because
these are all areas that are contributing so much more, and you are saying that we should not be part and parcel of how these things should be shared.
Well, I doubt if anyone would be saying that.
That's exactly what they have done. That's exactly what they have done with this delegate list.
Mr. Itsekiri, I doubt if anyone will be saying the Itsekiri should not be part of this. If you look at what a lot of people have been saying here, have you complained? Because first, this is not about Itsekiri. I'm taking a cue from where Nyata left off. He's saying that, well, have you complained from your state, then to the federal level? You said you had a presentation when Senator Okoromo came to Benin City.
Oh, yes.
So, in other words, after that, have you complained further before your state and the federal government on this particular matter, on the importance of having someone from the Itsekiri ethnic nationality to be represented?
Well, I know that there are batteries of efforts that are being made to reach out, to authorities that be, right? I heard there was a protest that took place over the weekend in Warri, right? And also
on this matter.
On this matter, and I'm also told too that there are a lot of newspaper articles and all that calling and drawing the attentions of Nigerians to be conscious of what has happened to this tribe called Itsekiri. Because what we're talking about here is how the resources of this country will be divided, how governance will be made, how I and you can relate together as brothers and sisters. And you are saying that I should not be part of that discussion. I don't think it's just fair.
What are the leaders of your area saying? Is it just that...
Everybody's so angry.
I'm thinking that it's just the youth of Itsekiris that are angry on this.
You got it wrong. You got it absolutely wrong. All the segments in Itsekiri land are very angry. In fact, the ancestors are all angry. The ancestors are all angry. Oh, yes. They are very, and rightly so, too.
How did you know?
Oh, you can see it everywhere. By the time the oil start flowing on its own self naturally, then they will know. But I can let you know clearly that all the segments in the Itsekiri land are all very angry. All.
So you maintain that all the delegates from Delta will not in any way take any decision, even though it's for the collective good of the state and the country, it will not benefit the Itsekiri group.
I am not interested in all the delegates. I am interested in my own person because of what I have as my own resources, as my own contribution to the well-being. For Christ's sake, this country is being run on oil. Yes, please.
If I may come in here.
Yeah.
Is there a particular person you'd want to represent your ethnic group?
Oh, we have quite a number of brilliant
people. Is there a
people.
particular person that you'd want to represent your group there?
I'm not even talking about one person. I am saying
there's no particular person.
No, I'm not talking about one particular person. I am saying that we should be given the opportunity of being well represented. I just mentioned to you that in 1959,
of the delegates from Delta, are you saying that nobody, there's none from Itsekiri?
As at today, the list release of 495 by that office. Not one single Itsekiri.
Okay, let's
don't forget.
Itsekiri.
This is a state that has 5 ethnic nationalities.
Okay.
How would you now judge it to say out of 5, 4 is gone, 1 is not there? And this one that is not there is the major financial contributor.
Okay. Of the Itsekiri group now, is the Itsekiri ethnic group only limited to Delta State?
That was why we came up with that.
Only limited to Delta State?
No, listen, that was why we came up with that suggestion during opinions as to how delegates we made in this. I told you that there were preponderance of opinions that suggested that the soul of this country has to do with ethnic nationality, and that delegates should, as a matter of policy, be selected on that basis.
But are they still limited to Delta State?
Sorry?
His question.
As I speak with you, there are protests all over the place because a situation where
the Itsekiri ethnic group,
yes,
is it limited to Delta State?
No.
So they are spread through other states.
In fact,
is it not possible?
The length and breadth of Nigeria. Yeah, Itsekiri is in Borno State.
Is it not possible that an Itsekiri man can come from many of these states to represent this ethnic group?
Where is the Itsekiri man that has come from that state now? From outside Delta, where is the Itsekiri man? I am telling you that a list of 495 delegates were released. Not one single Itsekiri.
So you know all the Itsekiri men across the country. As you said, they are even in Borno
Oh,
State.
for Christ's sake, you have the list. Just mention one. Just mention one from the list. It's public. If you go there and list, but just mention one that I'm trying to be. Yeah, I'm trying to lie to you now. You know, mention one from that release 495 members.
Well, first of all, we're reminded that look, this is not an ethnic nationalities conference. And since the state governors nominate the representatives, yes, shouldn't you start your complaint locally before you now get to the governor, who perhaps will then see to it that it's sorted out?
Are you sure that complaint has not been made already?
Has it? You tell us.
Are you sure? I know that I just told you.
I told you
a short while ago that
there are a
variety of protests all over the place, from different segments: the elders, the women, the youth, the boys, the girls, the aged, the cripple, all in the Itsekiri land. They are all protests. I just told you, even the ancestors are angry. Oh yes, because they cannot be produced. They cannot have that kind of contribution. Yet they are being shortchanged.
And the governor is not listening to you. Is that what you're saying?
I've told you just now that the governor appraised like a detribalized Delta.
You know, so why don't you follow?
So if you come out to
why don't you follow his footsteps? If he's detribalized and going about it normally.
Okay, if you say
don't you think he's got reasons?
If I should follow his footsteps as a detribalized, meaning that I should allow my contributions to just go without me participating in that discussion. Is that what you're telling me?
Is that what you did?
No, is that what you're telling me now? We're talking about 495 delegates. 495. So even if we go by the proposition of a 250 ethnic group nationalities, at least a minimum of 2 persons, a situation where some ethnic groups some of them are not complaining now because they have their numbers over-bloated the list. Oh yes. Why some don't have? Even some of them that even have one are also crying all over the place. Even in Badagry here in Lagos, they are all crying as well.
But you say if you just have one, it's okay.
I'm telling you, by the reason of my contribution, my enormous contribution, I am entitled to a minimum of 3 delegates. Because in 1958-59 conference, I had not less than 3 in that conference. And I just told you the result of that participation. All right?
All right. Since you say that they've channeled their protest to the appropriate quarters, we'll only hope that they'll get back to you on all of those matters.
Well, I also hope and pray, because we find this development very unacceptable. We will not accept it, and we are not want to say things without wanting to do. We are just watching and waiting, because you have clearly told us to seek help elsewhere. Oh yes, because I cannot be providing the money that you are using to feed, and you are saying I shouldn't be part of the discussions that will make us better. I mean, it's unheard of. It's unheard of.
All right. Mathew Istekure is a former spokesman, Itsekiri National Youth Council. Thank you for coming on this morning.
It's my pleasure.
And tell the ancestors to take it easy. They'll listen to you.
Well, I hope so. I hope they'll take it easy.
We're back after this break. Please join us again.